I think Cena just saved WrestleMania because we've got 4 title matches and 3 are not exactly on fire. We've got grades for all 4, so just keep watching. Welcome to the still terribly named OK Not OK podcast. I am the SportsZu, and today we're talking all 4 of our top title matches for WrestleMania, and I've got a grade for each one of them. So let's get right to it with the Undisputed WWE Championship. And everyone's already said everything about John Cena's heel turn this week after the Elimination Chamber, and as you would guess, the Doc obviously loved it because he thinks Cena can do no wrong. And you know what? It was amazing and one of the best moments in recent WWE memory. It's certainly great that we're going to get a Cena heel run. It's just that we waited about a decade too long for it. But honestly, at this exact moment, it's not what I wanted to see, because some things in life are better left as mysteries, and I think asking what if Cena turned heel is going to be better than what we're going to get. But we're certainly willing to give it a full shot here, so I think it could still be awfully good. But obviously, it is going to have a very short shelf life. And as we know, he's only got 9 or 10 months left, and he's just not going to retire as a bad guy, right? So somewhere with just 1 or 2 matches left, he just has to turn right back to a face. So it's not my favorite. I would have liked a face-on-face match for Rhodes and Cena if that's what we were going to get. But I'm going to be stubborn and pound the table that The Rock in the main event would have been best for business, and I guess he technically will be, but just watching Cena. But if we're not getting The Rock, then yes, this is definitely the best we could do, and I do think that half the crowd will be cheering for Cena, and half the crowd will be saying Cena sucks no matter what. But this is still absolutely an incredible match, and I can't wait for them to get it going, so I will give this match an A. Second, we have the World Heavyweight Championship between Gunther and Jey Uso. We've known this one for the longest amount of time, with Jey winning the Rumble, and we have to start there because Jey had the 7th shortest odds to win the Royal Rumble behind the aforementioned John Cena, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, The Rock, and Logan Paul, and at least 5 of them sound like better WrestleMania main eventers to me, and also probably Drew McIntyre as well. And then there's Gunther, and no one was particularly happy with his current reign, so I thought he wasn't even going to make it to WrestleMania as the champion. But I guess we're just going to go forward with it now, and this is clearly going to damage him for quite some time on the backside of this one. And of course, this has been a dreadful build to this match because it's only got 2 beats. Number 1, Jey comes out and yeets for 10 straight minutes, and then Gunther interrupts him. Or 2, Gunther beats someone else up and Jey then comes out to help. And then backstage later, Jey has to then complain about how no one thinks he can do it. Just spare me the sob story, Jey. We all know you're going to do it, and everyone will be yeeting in Las Vegas. But then hopefully you can get back to losing that title fairly quickly and the world can turn back to normal. So I'm over this one before it has even begun, and this match gets an F. So let's go to the women with the WWE Women's Championship, and Charlotte's return has been awfully clunky, but she probably is the female GOAT, no matter how many of you don't want to admit that. So you simply have to give her a championship spot this year, since she has now returned nice and healthy. So Tiffany Stratton swept all of us off of our feet, and it's really unbelievable how she did it, because she was a heel working under another heel, and she always lost every single match, as she literally had no one-on-one wins from March 8th, 2024, until she cashed in the briefcase on that first SmackDown of 2025. But we still fell in love with her anyways, and I'm just scratching my head how it happened, but nonetheless it did. And not only that, we've had her penciled in for this spot ever since she got that Money in the Bank briefcase in the ladder match. So mad props to her for being able to take us on this ride. And I do want to talk about Nia momentarily, but this exact matchup gets a B+. And lastly, the Women's World Championship. Whoa, WTF was that on Monday, guys? So many people saw Io getting into the triple threat match right after her match with Rhea was announced a few weeks ago. But I've got to admit that I was not one of those people, as I thought this was all that she was going to get here. And then I certainly didn't think that she was actually going to get the title at the end of that match. And I even had Io winning the Royal Rumble all the way back at my first prediction video after SummerSlam. And she's probably the best inside the ring for the last year plus now. So it's not like she doesn't really deserve it. But when you've got Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair right there on the doorstep of getting their first one-on-one match since NXT in February of 2020, it's absolutely absurd that you don't want to go that route. And in fact, I'll go out on a limb and say that those two together are better and more deserving of the actual Night 1 main event than Gunther and Jay. Though, of course, they wouldn't do that because they want the crowd to go home happy, and that you can do by simply yeeting all over the place. So while I think it's a 1000% chance that Rhea is added back into this match to make it a triple threat, it's simply not as special this way. So assuming we get that triple threat, it's a C+. But if we don't get it, then I'm dropping it down to a D. But at the end of the day, I'm simply perplexed with these two decisions for the women's match, because if Jay is getting a spot for being the hot act right now and for doing great work throughout the year of 2024 and maybe even beyond, how do we not have Liv and Nia get these spots as well? Liv was the Doc and Mai's 2024 Female Superstar of the Year, and she continues to be red hot at whatever she does, but she gets demoted to the tag division. Well, that actually made sense with Rhea as the champion because we just saw that matchup so many times, but you could have kept Liv as champ to go with either Bianca or Io as her opponent. And then on SmackDown, we have Nia basically saving the SmackDown Women's division from SummerSlam on, because it was certainly struggling a bit during Bayley's reign, as Nia proved to be the perfect bad gal for months, and she was doing the heavy lifting for Tiffy all the way through the chamber, suffering a bunch of losses with Candice along the way. And she even helped take Tiffy up several levels, so if there should be a triple threat match at WrestleMania, it definitely should be Tiffy, Charlotte, and Nia instead of the one that we're getting on the Raw side. So overall, nothing is perfect here, but at least Cena's heel turn gives us something extra special to crave. And unfortunately, the rest is a bit up and down, with maybe a bit more down than up. So our final grade, Cena takes the cake here and at least saves us to give this WrestleMania a B. But if you missed the Doc's rationale and grade for that Cena attitude adjustment, be sure to go right on over here and check that out. But for now, I'm the SportsZu, and this has been the OK, Not OK podcast.